Today, in the heart of West Africa, one country is facing a turning point. Burkina Faso, once known for its resilience and spirit, is now at the center of political upheaval, violence, and uncertainty. A military leader has taken control, democracy has been pushed aside, and millions of people are living in fear. But how did it get here? And what does the future hold? Stay with us as we break down the full story. Burkina Faso is a landlocked country in West Africa. It shares borders with Mali, Niger, and Ghana. Its capital is Ouagadougou. The country has a population of over 20 million people. Most rely on agriculture, growing crops such as millet, sorghum, and maize. Life in Burkina Faso has always required resilience. The climate is harsh, with long dry seasons and limited rainfall. Yet communities have adapted over generations. For many years, the country was seen as relatively peaceful compared to its neighbors. But stability does not always mean strength. Beneath the surface, challenges were building: poverty, weak institutions, and limited economic opportunities. These hidden pressures would later make the country vulnerable to crisis. Around 2015, the situation began to change rapidly. Burkina Faso lies in the Sahel, a vast region stretching across Africa. Just south of the Sahara Desert, this region has become a hotspot for armed extremist groups. Organizations linked to Al-Qaeda and ISIS began expanding their presence. They took advantage of weak borders, poverty, and limited government control. These groups did not just target the military, they attacked villages. They targeted civilians. They spread fear. Entire communities were forced to abandon their homes. Farmers could no longer safely work their land. Markets shut down. Basic services collapsed. Violence became part of everyday life. The crisis did not stay within Burkina Faso. It spread quickly into neighboring countries, especially Mali and Niger. Together, these nations became part of a growing regional conflict. The Sahel turned into one of the most dangerous regions in the world. International forces attempted to intervene, but the situation remained unstable. And for ordinary people, life became increasingly uncertain as violence increased. People began to lose faith in their government. They expected protection. They expected leadership, but what they saw was failure. In 2022, frustration reached a breaking point. Burkina Faso experienced 2 military coups in the same year. This was a clear sign that the political system was no longer functioning effectively. Eventually, a young army officer named Ibrahim Traoré came to power at just 34 years old. He became one of the youngest leaders in the world. He promised change. He promised security. He promised to restore national pride. For many citizens, he represented hope, early support for the Militaryat first. Traoré received strong public support people were desperate for. Stability. They believed that a military leader could succeed where civilian governments had failed. There was a sense of urgency, a feeling that bold action was needed, and for a moment, it seemed possible that things might improve. But in 2026, the situation took a dramatic turn. Traoré made a statement that shocked many observers. He told citizens to forget about democracy. This marked a major shift in direction. Political parties were suspended. Elections were postponed indefinitely. Burkina Faso became a military-led state. This raised serious concerns both inside and outside the country. Democracy had been replaced with centralized control, and with that came new risks. Organizations such as Human Rights Watch began raising alarms. They reported increasing cases of human rights abuses, civilian killings, lack of accountability in conflict zones. It became harder to distinguish between security operations and violations. Civilians were often caught in the middle. Trust continued to erode today. The humanitarian situation is severe. Millions of people have been displaced from their homes. Many are living in temporary shelters or camps. Food shortages are becoming more common in some areas. Families struggle to find even one meal a day. Schools have been forced to close due to insecurity. Children are missing out on education. Healthcare systems are overwhelmed. Access to basic services is limited or non-existent in some regions. Entire communities have been uprooted. This is not just a political crisis. It is a human crisis affecting millions of lives. One of the most concerning aspects of this crisis is its impact on children. Many are growing up surrounded by violence. Some have never experienced a stable home. Others have lost access to education entirely. This creates long-term challenges. A generation without education faces limited opportunities, and that can lead to further instability in the future. The international community has been watching closely. Some countries have expressed concern about the shift away from democracy. Others are focused on security, cooperation, but responses have been mixed, and solutions have been difficult to implement. Faso now finds itself navigating a complex global environment. So what lies ahead? There are three possible paths. The first is continued military rule. In this scenario, the current leadership maintains control and focuses on security. The second is a return to democratic governance. This would involve elections and a transition back to civilian leadership. The third is a worsening conflict. If violence continues to spread, the situation could deteriorate further. Each path comes with its own challenges, and none of them are guaranteed. Burkina Faso stands at a crossroads. It is a nation rich in culture, history, and resilience, but it is also facing one of the most difficult periods in its history. The decisions made today will shape the country's future for years to come. The world is watching, but more importantly, the people of Burkina Faso are enduring. They continue to live, work, and hope under incredibly difficult circumstances. What happens next will not only affect Burkina Faso, but the stability of the entire region. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share for more global stories.